So with the Bermuda government seemingly well behind on its goal to vaccinate 19,000 residents by the end of March, I wanted to explore a question I asked a few weeks ago. Last month, I asked one question. Do you plan to take the COVID-19 vaccine when it becomes available? Why or why not? One thing that I need to make clear is that the purpose of this video is not to prove a point about vaccines or to criticize people that have a different opinion than I do. I just want to explore what is probably the hottest topic on the island right now and listen to people's opinions as our government continues making these vaccines available to a wider range of people. And in doing so, maybe we can gain some additional insight into why there seems to be such a wide gap between the government's vaccination goals and the number of people that actually signing up to be vaccinated.
I'll be taking it, but not right away.
Never been vaccinated in my life and I have no problems here.
No, I never took the regular flu or the H1N1 vaccine, so I'm good.
I'm not anti-vaccination, however vaccines are usually tested for 5 to 10 years before given the okay to ensure all the kinks and side effects are identified.
Yup, because I trust the science and I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
If they remove the nanotechnology, maybe.
Omar, you just want them come after you today.
What can I say, bro? I'm a glutton for punishment. These waffle fries are bomb. Alright, so we got Sean Voodoo here now. So, Sean, what is your opinion on the vaccine? And do you plan on taking it?
Yeah, I plan on taking the COVID vaccine. I don't know why anybody wouldn't want to take it.
Okay, you say that, but what do you feel about people, like, there's a lot of contention with the vaccine, so there's a lot of people that don't trust them. So what do you say to people that say things like, oh, it was developed too fast, or, they rather wait and see how other people react to it? What do you say to somebody that just wants to wait a year or two? Is that so bad?
I think it's pretty bad. There's tons of reasons why you should take the vaccine as soon as you can. And I can accept the argument that, it was kind of rushed out. They only had a year to do this. But the first thing I would say is that anyone who thinks that they have done research on this or they've read up about it or anything like that, there are far smarter, more experienced people out there in the entire world, not just your tiny little bubble, that have researched this thing, that have tested it, that have looked into it. Like, unless you're Anthony Fauci with 30 years of infectious disease experience, I don't think you have any basis to interpret any weird thing you find on Facebook and think that is a reason not to take the vaccine. All right,
here with my cousin, Shay James. When the vaccine becomes widely available, do you plan on taking it? Why or why not?
Initially, I do not plan on taking it. It's more just because I don't want to. But depending on it's widely available, if that's from a year from now, and we've seen how people reacted to it, or maybe they've made changes to it, my mind might be able to be changed a little bit more. But initially, my first thought is that I just don't want to have it. From what I understand about it, it is more for the protection of yourself. And there are reasons why I should want to have it. Like, I have a pre-existing condition, but it's just, for me, not enough research that I'm comfortable with it in any case. And I just can't rationalize it for myself yet.
Well, one more question then. You see Premier Bart's all over the news, showing that he took the vaccine, trying to build confidence in the product. Did that change your opinion at all, or was that a moot point? What's your thought on that?
I really don't see what it has to do with anything. My choices. It's like if he went out there, I won't say that. It's just like if he went out there and did something I didn't want to do anyway, I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, Premier did it, and let me go and try that out. But if he's trying to build confidence that he's brave enough to take it, if that's the point he's trying to make, then that's more frightening. If it's that safe, then you shouldn't want to do anything to persuade people to want to take it. You'd be like, oh, it's safe, it's good for you.
What do you prefer, Malik or DJ Flash?
You can call me DJ Flavor. That seems to be the most recognizable name these days. Yeah, we good DJ Flavor for today.
What is your opinion on the vaccine, and do you plan on taking it? If so, why or why not?
Because I'm such a jerk, allow me to just play devil's advocate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what? I just saw that the Premier took his shot today. You know, I didn't really know what I was gonna do, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now that the Premier has taken it, now I can wait to see if, you know, he's gonna shape shift and turn into a reptilian and all that other kind of stuff. So now we have a test dummy not to call him a dummy, but now we have a test driver. And also, you know, you have some people that are saying, hey, you know, how do we know that was really the vaccine that he took, right? He and many other people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So right now, me, myself, I'm just going to be waiting to see if anybody shapeshifts and all that, like all these other conspiracy theorists out there, right?
Right.
But on a real day-to-day tip, I like to travel. I have had numerous overseas things that have been canceled due to COVID. I want to go to them places, right? I need to get, if they say, hey, you know, you have to get the COVID test, then what am I going to do? I mean, even when it comes to jobs and stuff, I cannot honestly see business people keep shutting down the businesses because of COVID-19, the amount of money loss that's happening pretty much is looking inevitable. So it looks like we'll be taking it in the long run, you know, unless I'm going to be some renegade and go underground, like, you know, in the movies and stuff like that, and, you know, start this underground civilization and all that other kind of stuff.
Well, then let me ask you a question then. Since you're going to take the wait and see approach, like, what exactly, or what do you think you need to see in order to make you feel like you're ready to take the vaccine? Is it like a length of time, or is it something in particular that you're going to look for?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to be looking for, like how we're having this here conversation, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I get you. You'll see if any zombies come out. If it turns into a zombie apocalypse, so you're definitely not taking it, right? Alright, now we have Miss Sloan, Robin Sloan, ex-PLP senator, right? Am I correct in that title?
Bermuda Alliance former senator.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
The COVID vaccine. Now that we have the doses on the island and people are starting to get their jabs, how do you feel about it? Are you going to take the COVID vaccine? Why or why not?
I personally will not be taking it. That's just my personal decision based upon the research that I've done myself. I'm a pro-choice vaxxer. I think that everyone should, go ahead and use any resources or means, have discussions with the doctors, go ahead and Google information if you need to. I think my only gripe I could say with vaccines is that the technology up until this point hasn't dramatically changed in how they administer it. And we also have not only natural ways to deal with ailments, but there are other medications that many doctors have been coming forth to discuss, such as ivermectin. And upon doing my own research, turns out that it's centuries old, and people have been fighting other pathogens and viruses with these medications successfully. So my question is, why aren't we being told about other options beyond vaccine? Do I think vaccines are just the most horrendous thing ever? No, I don't. I think that if you believe your immune system is compromised, or you're up in age, or you find yourself in that vulnerable person's category, then by all means you should take a vaccine. But that's definitely a discussion that you should be having with your physician, as well as doing some self-research and make that personal decision for ourselves.
One more question for you then. So since you have some experience in government, can you identify any areas that the current administration can improve on as they're trying to roll out this vaccine? Or do you have any sort of
to be frankly honest?
Yep.
they've done an impeccable job. Bermuda is still doing an incredible job considering other places in the world. PLP has done an amazing job at not only containing, but surveying, and they've been able to adjust immediately to any upcoming changes. They've kept themselves abreast to the world standard, as well as observing what isn't working in other countries and implementing it here. To be honest, they get an A++ from me. I do not see any error with what they're doing. Even communication-wise, during the initial outbreak, some members had reached out to me, despite the fact that I have a history with the opposition. And they even asked, would you be willing to help us circulate? Would you be willing to speak up? And I agreed to do so, because you should always be serving what's in the best interests of everyone in Bermuda.
Mr. Wayne Seeley. Wayne Seeley, so what is your opinion on the new COVID vaccines, and do you plan on taking any of them?
Well, yes, I have taken the vaccine a few days ago, and I feel great. It was actually on Tuesday, and I have no side effects. I just felt a little numbness in the area in which the vaccine was placed, the vaccine site. But otherwise, I had no side effects, and I'm happy to have taken it. And even this morning, I was reading some news, and there's soon going to be a vaccine passport for you to travel, which is to protect people that you're traveling among. So I think the steps of taking the vaccine is very important to get rid of this disease, and also to travel freely or without hassle or without harassment.
Okay, so you're obviously a frontline worker, right, and an essential worker. So do you feel safe and all that you've had it?
Yes, of course. Imagine you're going to deal with a member of the public. You're going to help them, or even if you're going to arrest some person or something like it, and you're not sure if the person has COVID, you still have to perform your duty. You still have to deal with the person. But this offers another layer of safety in which it can both serve all members of the public and not have to worry if they will contract COVID or pass it on to somebody else.
Janelle Clark, not a Bermudian, she's from Toronto, Canada, but as someone who's in Bermuda all the time, and travels to Bermuda all the time, I thought it would be good to get your opinion. Just first of all, what is your thoughts on the COVID vaccines that are rolling out? Like, do you plan on getting it? Do you feel safe getting it? Like, what's your opinion on these things?
So do I plan on getting it? I am in that 50-50 stage right now, where one day I'm swayed to the left, one day I'm swayed to the right. Like, I don't think I'll get it, but then I do think I'll get it. One thing that swayed me to not getting it is hearing like about a recent case of a doctor dying from it, and he's like super healthy according to his wife. So I'm just like, what? But then it's like, out of the millions of people who took it, he's probably one of the first or few to die. So that's like really scary to me on one side of the spectrum. But then my, let's say, across the emotional side of being scared, the logical side is like, I believe in the herd immunity kind of factor. Relatively young, healthy, and if the vaccine was available to me like tomorrow, I feel I would just get over it and just take it, because I kind of just want to be over this and, you know, want to be able to travel, do new things.
No, like I said, you're someone who comes to Bermuda often. So do you feel safe traveling right now? And is the vaccine going to change anything for you? Like, are you going to, if you end up getting the vaccine, is that going to make you feel safer to come back to Bermuda? When do you think that's going to happen?
I traveled a couple times during the pandemic to Bermuda, even when it was like, you know, an apparent lockdown. Our lockdowns were very at ease. Like, you could still travel. They weren't like taking that away from you. It's still like that. So, and I'm still safe. So I feel like I really would travel again. I don't feel like I am at a huge risk. And then looking at the numbers, the amount of people who import COVID into Canada, Toronto, Ontario, I mean, is at a lower rate than our community transmission. So I do feel safer traveling than going to like Walmart, you know?
Well, let me give you a different question then. Let me give you a different question.
Okay.
What if they start mandating vaccines in order to get on airlines and stuff?
In order to travel?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be like, shoot me up. Like, I'm one of those people, like, I do feel like if it came to the point of choosing to live a relatively normal life or not, I'm not gonna stand strong and say no vaccine and, you know, not be able to do certain things. Like, I feel like I trust the health system a little bit more than others, maybe. I don't know.
After speaking with a bunch of people over the last several weeks and reading endless discussions on social media, it's clear and obvious to anybody with at least one eye that a large segment of the population does not trust this vaccine. At least, not enough trust to go out and register for these initial rounds of vaccinations. There's folks on both sides of the argument, right? Those that trust it and those that don't. But most people seem to fall somewhere in the middle and are taking a wait-and-see approach. They want to see how things unfold over the next year or so before making their decision. And looking at the data coming out of the Ministry of Health, it appears that most of the distrust is originating from the black community, which shouldn't surprise anyone given the rocky history between the government and those same black communities. Also, the shoddy state of our healthcare industry. The government is just starting to acknowledge that this is a problem that needs to be addressed for them to achieve their vaccine dream of 19,000 full vaccinations by the end of March. My only question is, why didn't they start addressing this months ago? One look at Facebook during this pandemic was all anyone needed to do to see that there wouldn't be any rush to get vaccinated when they became available. Did they just assume that everybody was going to line up and get their jab in the arm because they asked nicely? No, there was too many signs. Whatever happens going forward, just remember to take care of yourselves. Do what's best for you and respect each other. And you don't need to start degrading people and arguing with them. We're all in this madness together and we'll get through it. Big shout out to all my interviewees that took time out of their busy schedules to be in this video. Much appreciated. Do you have anything to add before I cut this off?
All right, man. Talk to you later. Bye.
Shout out to my sister at Ria Creations for all your dessert needs.
DJ Flavor, Natural Movement Radio 3.0 in style and fashion. Also Hot 107.5. But I definitely just want to thank you for having me on this platform, Juice Man. You know, this is the #1 platform in Bermuda, soon to be worldwide. I'm telling you that now. Trust me.
Yes, stand up for your right to make it a choice for your body, but there's no need to cause discourse and spread false information. It's totally unnecessary.
All right, Robin. Well, thank you for your time.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, I would like to advise everyone that this Zoom or this video reaches to seriously consider taking the vaccine, as you may have other family members and children and so on. Now, let's say that I don't take the vaccine, which means that it can be a greater risk of you or your relatives being infected by me.
Follow me on Instagram, Janelle McClarty. I'm a website designer. If you need a Shopify e-commerce hookup, you know, with all this pandemic struggles going on, if you want to get online and start selling and making money, I can help you.
One final note. If you enjoy my content and you would like to support me and this small platform that I'm trying to build, head over to isleofdavels.com. Buy an item. They're a little overpriced, but you'll be supporting me and this channel, helping me to make a better product. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment below, and I'll see you in the next video.